Why is this screen so... Does it feel so much closer than it did before?
I mean, did you move it?
No, but hey, Plant Fam.
Plant Fam.
You're just like really close to my face. It's kind of terrifying. I feel like that's better, right?
Sure.
Turn your volume.
No, my volume's on and now I can hear you.
Let me know if you can hear us. This light is also like really terrible on my face, but it's fine.
Do you want me to change the light?
No, because it's on the warm setting.
Should I put the overheads on?
I don't know, because that casts a weird shadow.
Might be pretty awful.
It should be fine. Hey, Plant Fam.
Hey, everybody.
It is moody. Is that a good thing?
It's so moody.
Because, like, I didn't want to do, like, hair or makeup. So, like, I kind of look like a ghost right now. I'm not going to lie.
I didn't do my hair or makeup either, so...
You did your hair today.
I mean,
I washed my hair.
I took a
That
shower.
counts.
Like, that's all
I washed my hair today.
Doesn't count as doing my hair.
This is my natural, like...
Yeah, like cozy chill vibes.
Frizzy curl. I'm just giving everybody some time to pop in. I know notifications tend to be pretty slow. People don't get their notification until like 20 minutes into the live.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, no, that's why I tried to give you guys at least like an hour heads up. I know that I've been doing a lot of like just impromptu live streams, but I want to do one every week. I can just never settle on like a day.
Tomorrow I'm doing an impromptu live stream and she'll be on it, so you should come and hang out with us tomorrow too.
Yeah, so
If you're not sick of us by then.
You're in the chat on your
I'm in the chat.
On your YouTube that has the channel.
This is my
right?
YouTube channel thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just put that in there. So
you guys can go and subscribe to him if you want to. He talks about things and stuff.
yeah, it's really specific.
It's motivational. Hi, Angela. It's nice seeing you too. And like members, you can do that as well. You have one a month, I think, of the like super chats that are like free. You get one so that it pops up the way that Angela's does. My Hoya obovata has 2 peduncles. My first Hoya blooms on their way. Girl, don't be disappointed if they fall off. I have a video about that on my channel. It is pretty common when it's like the first bloom. I love lives too. I'm glad you were able to make it.
Are those the peduncles that like you taste and stuff? Because they're like weird. You can like just eat the peduncles.
I wouldn't recommend eating it.
Maybe you shouldn't
like,
eat them.
You can. It's not toxic.
Yeah. Probably doesn't taste good.
I'm glad you like it, Xandra. She got the Jobby coffee that you liked.
Oh, nice.
We gotta get you more of that. You
that was good. I liked it.
Quick. He likes coffee.
I do coffee. Yeah.
And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's like a coffee concentrate. And I had like a 20% off coupon or something for you guys.
Like that.
Yeah. It's on my Instagram. If you ever want any of my like promo codes and you can't remember what they are, they're literally linked in my Instagram, and all the links are there for you too with all the discount codes. So it is really good. You should try it.
Been a bit of a coffee snob for like a while, and so I used to cold brew my coffee and all that, and it definitely has that kind of cold brew sort of smooth vibe. Yeah, I do need to order more.
Yeah, it's good for making lattes. You don't have to like make your own espresso and everything. So
yeah, I like it.
I love hanging out with you. I'm glad that most of my Plant Fam members are here. Well, not most, but a lot of my active ones. I'm drinking a golden milk. Do you guys have anything that you're sipping on tonight? I'm drinking Yoo-Hoo, LOL. I've already
seriously?
had my coffee limit.
You're drinking a Yoo-Hoo? That's fantastic. Chocolate drink. I used to love those. They used to come in a little.
Hate Yoo-Hoo.
They used to come in a little glass bottle.
It's like watered down chocolate milk.
Yeah, like I don't think I would want it now, but like you never know.
I was always
just for something a little different.
Like, the chocolate syrup, and I would get yelled at for using too much.
Well, yeah.
How is your snake and high from Oregon?
Thank you. Thank you. We argue constantly about the pronunciation of this state. Oregon.
That is
Oregon.
how everybody in New York says it.
Oregano.
Everybody that I've ever known my whole entire life
Oregon.
says Oregon, and then he comes along, it's like it's Oregon. I'm like, what?
It's not the Oregon Trail. Like,
see, she spells it Oregon.
It's not Oregon.
There's an O. It's an O-N, not an E-N. So now I just say Oregon just to piss him off.
Danny trying to get off Mountain Dew. It's a wise
Water
idea.
and chocolate syrup equals yoo-hoo. Yeah, that's true, I guess. I just like a milkier one.
It's good, though, to go to green tea from Mountain Dew because you actually, I think you might get more caffeine that way.
Mealybug season here. When I spray with alcohol, soap, water, if it gets on the soil, will it kill my plants? No, you're fine. The best way to get rid of mealybugs, though, is to physically remove them off of the plant and repot it, make sure there's nothing on the roots, and then keep spraying it down like once a week and wiping it down and checking for it. See? No, you can leave your questions. I have some questions that people have left on previous videos. So I did a video, like a proper sit down video, and answered your plant questions. I didn't get to all of them, and I wanted to start that as a series, but I actually thought the series would be more fun and more effective if we turned it into a live series where you guys could actually like interact with me in real time as I'm answering your questions that you can submit. I'll tell you how eventually in this video, and you guys can throw in your opinions too, because like I'm not an expert, I don't know everything, but I do a lot of research and I do have a lot of experience, so I like to I'd like to think I know a good amount about plants. So
I mean, most of them are alive here, so like we're good.
I'm not Alison. Maybe you are. In Japan you would be, so
it's like Oregon. Allison, Oregon. Not Allison.
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 I'm gonna call you Allison now. Just to make a point.
All right, here we go. What's your favorite plant right now?
Right now, probably my monstera Thai constellations. I have a few of them. They're just really pretty. Yeah, I thought it would be more fun for us to do this live.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull up some of those questions. They are, like I said, on, it was actually a short that I posted, and you guys left me some questions there, and then I posted that first video, and you guys had left a few questions there. So what I'm going to do at the end of this live stream, if you didn't get your questions answered and you still have questions or you think of them later, you can leave them just in the regular comment section of this video. Or for those of you who are watching the replay, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, even though it's not live anymore. Leave your questions in the comment section below, and I will get to them in the next live stream. And hopefully we can come up with like a day and like a time that works good for everybody for the most part, and keep on doing this regularly. So what type of soil do you use for the Hoya babies? Anything chunky. So I pretty much use the same mix for everything. I've been really loving Soul Soils, another brand that I have been working with. Yeah, SOL, Soul Soils. I can put it in the chat for you. I do have a discount code. I think it's just Jacqueline's Jungle or Jacqueline, but I think it's Jacqueline's Jungle. I started using some of their chunky perlite and I really liked it, and then I don't remember if I reached out to them. I might have tagged them in something, and then they were like, hey, you know, we have an affiliate program. So I was able to get you guys a discount code, and then if you do shop through my link, you are supporting me and this channel as well. So it's like a win-win. Plus they have great stuff, like really great already mixed chunky soil if you just want to buy a bag of soil for your Hoya already mixed up. But I usually do just like whatever normal soil, I can talk, whatever normal soil you use I do the extra chunky perlite from Soul Soils, and then I do my orchid bark that has more perlite and charcoal in it as well. And that is usually what I go with for pretty much everything, and I'll just tweak it depending on like the plant. So
Oh, you like De La Tanks too, right?
I do. I have used it in the past. I just love mixing my own soil, but I know that not everybody wants to be bothered with that. So, well, hi, Kelly. I'm glad that you decided to say hi. Hi. I hope you're well tonight. Lurkers are always welcome here. I know not everybody feels comfortable commenting. So, yeah, definitely recommend Soul Soils. And I think I have like 10-15% off or something. It's linked in the description box of like all my videos. It's not linked in this one, but it's linked in like the description box, and it's also linked on my Instagram. Like I said, in the link at the top of my page, you can find all of the brands that I work with there and all of the discount codes for you. So that is what I recommend for your Hoya. Have you ever tried the Arbor brand? No, I haven't. I've been in contact with them for quite some time, and it just never really like panned out, but I do want to try it. It definitely is something that I enjoy. I'm trying to lurk, but it's hard being lurky when you're on camera. It's cute. Okay, what did I miss?
I don't know. We're talking about lurking.
Finally got a Hoya calistophylla. I've heard it needs high humidity for good growth. Should I put it in my terrarium? Honestly, I don't find that to necessarily be true. My calistophylla grows and blooms like crazy for me in like 60-70% humidity. Anything below 60%, no plant is really gonna like unless it's like a cactus. I don't find that. It's honestly one of my easiest Hoyas that I have.
Crystal has a sappy philodendron. Her philodendron's like, I love you guys.
They're so
You're the
annoying,
best.
aren't
Oh,
they?
not that kind of
No,
sappy.
because I was saying that in my video yesterday. There was sap everywhere.
Not that kind of sappy.
No. I mean, you could clean up the sap if you want to. It's a pain in the butt. And I have my massive Philodendron squammy that's just sticky 24/7. There's nothing you can do. It's a plant.
The squirmy crown?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then those damn extra floral nectaries. Say that 10 times fast.
The what?
Extra floral nectaries.
Extra fluoride nectarines.
Floral.
That too.
Nectaries.
Okay.
They're like little pores on the philodendron leaves that like let out excess like moisture and stuff, and that leaves little marks on the plant. It's really annoying.
Gross. Okay.
The sap is nasty. I have a I literally just read that. Okay. Let me go to the questions, the old questions. I have one here from Destiny Mead. She says, how do I get more variegation on my philodendron pink princess?
Is that what that meant?
PPP?
I was like, what's the PPP?
Some people just do PP.
Okay.
Pink princess.
How do I get more variegation on my PP? That's a terrible question. Nobody wants to know that. Nobody wants to answer that.
I can't even see the chat.
Oh yes, this is.
It is a cat mug.
This is the cat mug.
I drink it through the ears. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's.
There is no trick to getting more variegation on here, pink princess philodendron. It's all genetics. So if you buy one that has low variegation, it's not going to just like magically get high variegation. One thing to look at when it comes to variegation on plants is the stem. You always want to check out the stem and where the node is. So how you know if variegation is going to continue on an aroid is whether or not that those stripes of variegation go through where the node is and where that next growth point is going to come out from. So if you're in the store and you're like inspecting plants and looking for one that has really nice variegation, that's something that you want to look for, because if that variegation doesn't go through where the leaf is going to come out of, it's not going to come out with any variegation on it. That's why I think a lot of the times with plants that throw out half moons, you'll get a half moon and then a regular leaf, and then a half moon and then a regular leaf, because it's coming out of opposite sides of the stem and the petioles, so it's like missing the variegation on the wrong side every other time that it's putting out a leaf, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
I don't know. I hope that makes sense.
I'm stuck on the whole.
No, because that's a question. That is juvenile humor for sure. It's a question that I get a lot. Like, how do I get more variegation, or how do I get my pink princess to be more pink? And it's not a thing. It has to have it already. It's not just gonna like randomly produce it. So, I mean, obviously you want to give it the right amount of light too, but it is not dependent on that.
It'd be cool if there was a different answer, like play classical music.
I mean, they like that.
You know, play metal.
Like that. I'm glad that makes sense. Thank you for the validation. How many times do I say that after I explain something? I'm like, does that make sense? Did I explain it right? Like, I'm a visual person, so it's hard to use my words all the time. They like to see me squirm. I always think it's bugs attacking me. What did I miss?
It's something about plants.
Hanging behind a chair. Oh, it drips on you. The sap. The string of turtles will throw leaves at you. That's why I don't have them anymore. Because they just drop them constantly from across the room. Okay, Sunny L asked, is there a difference in a plant that is grown from corm or from tissue culture? I have seen on some plant cell pages where this must be stated. As long as they are acclimated, I didn't really think it made a difference. Okay, so let's break this down part by part here. Is a plant that's grown from corm or tissue culture different from like a plant that was propagated or grown from seed? The only difference is a corm is the same essentially as propagating. That's like a little baby that's coming off of, that's like specific to alocasias. Some people call it a bulb. So that would just be like your standard propagation. And that's a really normal way to grow a plant. So the difference between that and tissue culture is that tissue culture is they're literally taking like the cells, like little teeny tiny cells of a plant and putting it in a petri dish and growing a new plant with it. So it's kind of like a science baby as opposed to a corm that's like a regular baby.
Frankenplant. It's alive.
That makes sense. It makes sense to most of you in the chat, I'm sure, because we do generally understand what tissue culture is. It's not really any different than propagating, aside from it is more of like a cloning process, but even in that process there is still genetic diversity. So it's really not any different, aside from it takes way longer. And like you said, if the plant is acclimated and it's already like fully grown, you wouldn't actually know the answer. You wouldn't know the difference. Like, most of the plants you're seeing now, like the Thai constellations that are all over the place, like those are all tissue cultured, and the reason why we're able to get them now for anywhere between $50 and $100 for a small plant is because of tissue culture. So there are definitely like things that can happen. If I want to branch out into Anthurium, what one would you recommend? Anything that's not velvety. I know that those are like the ones that everybody wants, but they're far more difficult. I think they're called like terrestrial, the ones that are like just they grow a little bit more normal. Well, we have a few.
No, I like how you asked me. Like,
I know you don't
anything,
know. You don't know. Even though I've said it like 1,000 times because you like the terrestrial anthuriums like over the humidity loving ones.
Oh,
yeah, okay. You have a bunch of them. Boom.
I got the one that's like the one, and the one with the leaves that do the thing.
Yeah, the one with the leaves.
Where they're green. Yeah.
It photosynthesizes.
No, I like that one. That was nice.
Yeah.
The green plant.
I have like a little variegated, I think it's like a Gemanii or something along those lines. So I definitely recommend something with like a thicker, more like rugged leaf. Those thin leafed, like velvety ones can be really, really...
Oh, it's still alive. Is it back there? Like...
Yes, it actually just put out a new leaf.
Oh, look at that.
It constantly has thrips, but it also has a new leaf. I'm literally spraying it all the time.
It's a thrip collector.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going for like the queen anthurium or anything like that. Honestly, my crystallinum is really easy too if you're looking for a more like classically heart-shaped anthurium. If you guys have any suggestions in the chat, because you know that I'm not like a super duper like anthurium person. I have a handful, but they're not my favorite just because they are a little bit more finicky and more difficult to grow if you don't have that high humidity and like just the right environment for them. And in my house, if you don't thrive on neglect, you're out. Like you ain't making it here. It's not happening. So I know that I have like calatheas and ficus and stuff, but honestly I water them exactly the same as I water the rest of my plants, and they don't really require anything extra.
It would be awesome if Willow ate thrips. Are you kidding? If we had a thrip-eating snake.
I worry about them getting in there because thrips bite.
Yeah, that's no good.
And there's a couple of fungus gnats in her enclosure that drive me crazy.
All right, so here's another question. Do you think my Hoya Sarawak will like to be grown on a pole?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It'll get bigger. The leaves will get bigger. Hoyas like to attach to whatever they can find, and once they...
Like, it seems like that's for every... like, is there a plant that doesn't like to be on a pole other than, like, a cactus? You can't, like, throw it at a pole.
Yeah, ficus,
Ficus don't like to be anywhere.
Aglaonema, like self-heading plants, like, it's just not necessary.
Right.
For anything that vines, though, like, yeah, it's gonna want to vine.
Like the Mandula?
Yeah, any pothos, any Hoya. Obviously, a Hoya linearis isn't going to look very good on a pole.
That'd look weird.
That's a trailing Hoya for sure. But I actually just had this conversation. I know you guys know Emma over at Good Growing here on YouTube. I did a little video chat with her Patreon people, and we were talking about Hoya, and they had asked me that same question. So Hoyas definitely want to vine and climb. If you let their tendrils go and you have a bunch of them, you'll notice that they kind of twist around each other. Like they're literally just looking for anything that they can find. And the way I always tell people to think of it is once the plant feels like safe and secure, like it's on something, it's holding on to something, it's going to start growing like crazy for you, and it's going to start throwing out even bigger, more beautiful leaves. So definitely don't wait to get your Hoyas, especially like your thicker Hoyas, up on something, because their stems get really rigid, and it'll be more difficult to maneuver them the way you want to. So my Sarawak needs a pole too. Honestly, I like to trellis my Hoyas. They just don't always look good on a trellis, like this stupid carry eye that just grows straight up. There's no way that I could possibly ever bend that without snapping it.
It looks so dumb.
Bend
right
and
now.
snap. Penny's in her enclosure, but David put out a video today a few hours ago if you guys want to go and check that out, and Penny is with him the whole time. So even if you don't really care about what he's saying, you could just look at Penny. But like, he's cute too. So, and he's doing a live stream tomorrow, so we'll be here again tomorrow night, just on his channel.
Yes.
And he'll be talking and not about plants.
No.
So, okay, let's move on to the next question. What is the best way to try and save a plant that has a lot of cold damage but shipping but isn't dead? It depends on the severity of the cold damage. If it's just the leaves, I would cut them off. If there's just a couple of spots on the leaves, they might still end up being okay. So it depends. But there's going to be some rehabbing in order, and I like to use a mossy perlite mix to reroot my plants and get them looking happy, and I'll probably throw it in a prop box to up the humidity as well, just to encourage faster root growth, because the faster the roots can establish themselves, because usually cold damage puts a lot of stress on the plant. You're going to want to make sure that it's nicely rooted. I suppose you could leave it in the soil that it's in, but I always like to take it out and check out what I'm working with when I have a damaged plant, and make sure that I'm rehabbing it properly. But let me know in the chat what you guys do if you've ever received a cold damaged plant. Unfortunately, the last one that I received, that philodendron that I got, not the last order, but the one a few before that, Sorry, I'm like always clearing
Is
my
that the
throat.
one that looked like wilted salad when you got
Yeah.
it? Yeah, that was pretty
That's
awful.
cold damage.
Yeah.
That one was so badly cold damaged, like all the way, the whole stem just shriveled up like overnight. When I woke up the next morning, the whole thing
It was gone.
was gone. Yeah, I
Kaput.
mean, he said he's gonna replace it for me. He's checking the greenhouse to see if he has more. He was like, that's way too cool of a philodendron for you to not have it in your collection. So he was really, really nice about it. The last one that came damaged, they basically were like, too bad.
Oh, that's nice. That's.
I mean, it's the risk you take with like an unrooted cutting. You expect to lose maybe like a leaf or two, but like not all of them when it's been in the mail for 2 days. So that's unfortunate. Oh my gosh, I cannot clear my throat. Do you know how many times I have to edit out me clearing my throat when I'm filming?
Isn't there a song about that?
Now let me clear my throat.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good.
You're welcome.
Some of my
Do you have
fill
any more questions?
have tiny vines at the pot and then get thicker along the vines. Should I chop and prop the thick, heavy vines or leave them dangling off the thin ones?
I feel like that's an aesthetic thing, really. If the plant
Doesn't
isn't
matter.
like flopping over and it's gonna break, I probably would, just because I like my plants to look nice and bushy. Plus, now is like the perfect time of year to start chopping your plants. I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm doing a video about like how to ensure that your plants are like thriving this spring, and like things that you can start doing to make sure you get a lot of growth on your plants this year, and cutting them is definitely one of it. Now is the time to start propagating and pruning your plants if your weather is getting warmer, for sure, because every time you cut a vine, it shoots growth hormone down into the plant. So you're going to get growth coming from the base of the plant, and then you also have the cuttings that you took that you can put back into the top of the plant. So by the end of spring, you should have a nice, big, full plant. So if you watched my video yesterday where I showed you my Jose Buono that I took the cutting off of, and it's thriving and rooting and growing, and then I showed you the butt cut, the base of the plant that had no leaves. It was just a rooted butt cut, and it's already pushing out growth almost from every single node that was on that plant. So now I'm going to have 3 plants.
Or was this your Instagram? Where'd you put this?
My YouTube
Oh, was it
video
a video?
yesterday.
You did a video about Jose's butt?
Jose's butt, yes.
Okay.
My China doll got some sunlight damage and it's dropping. What should I do?
That's drooping.
Drooping.
Yeah.
I read it as dropping leaves.
It's dropping beats,
It's
yo.
dropping.
Yeah.
Your screen is weirding me out because it's dark. No, you just have it on like the dark mode, so it's hard for my eyes to read it.
Yeah.
I'm not super good with that plant, but usually that's just kind of gonna happen when the plant is stressed. I'd say that your best bet is to just leave it alone and don't stress it out any further. People tend to panic and go into like, I'm gonna repot it, I'm gonna treat it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and like the plant is dropping leaves and it's drooping or whatever it's doing. I'm fine, I can read. It's drooping because it's under stress.
It's droopy droppy.
Yeah, it's just really dry probably. I'm sure you watered it. I'm sure that's the first thing that you did was water it. And yeah, I would just leave it alone. Honestly, you don't want to stress it out more because the roots are fine. And if the roots are healthy, the plant will bounce back. It has a good foundation. Okay. I've got Kim Boggs here saying, I have 2 money tree plants and they are constantly putting out new growth. No yellowing, no brown tips, no pests, but the leaves on both plants are droopy. I read it right that time. Mm-hmm. And they grow in that way. I'm confused as to why when I've eliminated other issues. Kim, I hope you're watching this because I thought there was something wrong with my money tree because the leaves were droopy as well. And I ended up overwatering it because of that, and I killed it. Now, David and I bought them at the same time, and his is totally fine, although it's ours now. And I think that it's because he barely watered it. And it's like it's actually growing like crazy, putting out new leaves constantly. And let me tell you, girl, that is how the plant grows. You're not doing anything wrong.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the plant. They come out like this, and then eventually they straighten themselves out as they like harden off and mature. So everybody out there that has a money tree, your plants come in droopy. That's what the plant looks. It looks like this, like the leaves, because they have like their fingers. They're literally just. But I promise you, the plant is fine. Like that is just how it grows. So do not worry. Your plant is fine. Just keep on watering it every 10 days approximately, depending on your environment, and like you are going to be fine. The plant's going to be fine. So money trees come in with droopy leaves.
Yeah.
It's just a fact. My aglaonema do too. They come in like all curly, but they fix themselves.
Right.
I don't remember if I answered this one or not in my last video, but I don't know how to say that name. Carmagna?
Carmagna?
Okay. Well, they want to know, if I were to use coco coir as a plant substrate, how might I provide my plant with the necessary nutrients? Fertilizer.
Fish poop.
You just need fertilizer. The same way you would give your other plants nutrients is the same way. I've been using instant plant food. I really like it. It's really easy. I've been using the fish shit as a soil conditioner. It is not a fertilizer. It's a conditioner.
Oh, is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference?
It just helps keep your soil healthy.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, which is another topic that we're going to be talking about soon. And what you should and should not do to keep your plants healthy. So, let's see. Okay, I answered that one. I need your help. I recently purchased 2 Hoyas because they were so cute at the time, not knowing anything about Hoyas. So can you please make an update video on them? Girl, I have a whole playlist. A whole entire Hoya care playlist separate from regular plant care videos because we love Hoyas here. And I do try and break it down into like individual, like small topics, like how to get your Hoyas to grow, how to get them to bloom, all of the things. All of the things are there. If you have a more specific question, then I'm happy to cover it in a video. Like I have one on Hoya lighting, how to propagate your Hoyas. Like I have more Hoya care videos than I do any other plants. So definitely go and check out that playlist on my channel. It's really easy. If you just go to my homepage, there's tabs at the top, and you go to the tab that says playlists, and you scroll down until you find the one that says Hoya care tips.
This is a good one.
I have a Monstera deliciosa, and his oldest leaf is turning yellow, and my overwatering is the leaf just old. It's probably just old.
A 2-year-old leaf.
Yeah, if it's still growing, like is it putting out new growth from the top? Because that's pretty common. It'll just like divert its energy to the new youthful leaves and kill off the old ones. So I'm sure you're not overwatering it. If you were overwatering it, the leaf would be like kind of mushy. There's a difference.
So, Sammy, my Schefflera arboricola,
Nice.
Lidericola, keeps dropping leaves. I swear my ficus is less of a diva than this plant, but I love her foliage. How can I keep her happy so she can grow big and tall?
I've actually never had a Schefflera.
Is that like the umbrella? That's the umbrella plant.
Yeah.
I love that
thing. Did you kill it?
Oh, yeah. But, like, I loved it.
Why did you kill it? Because you forgot to water it?
Of course. Yes. That was back when I was like, oh, I really want to have, like, I like the way this plant looks. I should just get it, which was just dumb. I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted with those. Like a peperomia.
Sammy.
Don't give me a peperomia, people.
I wish
I'm just
knew.
gonna kill
it. I'd have to, like, look into the care for that. I mean, unless anybody in the chat knows. Do you guys know? What's the deal with Schefflera? I always thought they were really easy. Are they not easy?
They definitely like it. It needs water.
Like I feel like that's like a common
really
like
water.
kind of like aquarium or like terrarium type of plant.
Right.
Maybe they need more humidity.
I had a little one. It looked like a little like
You had a little variegated
looked like
one.
a little Japanese garden. Like it was just like a really cute
Actually,
kind
that
of
would
plant.
look nice in Willow's enclosure.
Sure. I killed mine too. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we're so helpful.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't have all the answers. I'm not an expert. I can only speak on experience that I've had and what research I have done into specific plants, which is really more like aeroids and I know more about Hoya than I do pretty much anything else. I love how this light is making my face look orange and my neck is white. It looks like I have bad foundation on.
Nobody's looking.
But I don't even have any foundation on.
I thought so too, but it's the only plant I can't keep alive. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like I'm trying to remember when mine was its happiest.
Was when you first got it and it wasn't.
Was when I first got it and I hadn't had a chance to kill it. For sure, when it was in Home Depot. That's how you know. If it was happier getting waterboarded in Home Depot, and I didn't treat it well. But it was like it was in a bright area, but not like direct light, and yeah, I kept it like fairly regularly watered, and it was good. Like, and it grew until I ignored it, and then it didn't.
Yeah,
and it was gone.
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
It might just be a crap specimen. Not all plants are created equal. Sometimes we really struggle with a plant, and it's just because that plant in particular wants to be an asshole, and that plant, like that species and that genre, like aren't necessarily always terrible, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trigger you, Krista. Yeah, are you having the same issue with your money tree and like
sworn off pepperoni?
The leaves are droopy? Because that's normal. They come in droopy. I am a recent Hoya head. They all seem to be doing so well. I just found the tiniest new growth on my caudata today. Nice. Nice, Dawn. I just got another caudata Sumatra. It's really nice. Hoya, definitely a thinner leaf Hoya, so it could be a little bit thirstier than other Hoyas, but it survives here, so my bromia recovery group. So that's a lot of people feel about calatheas, and I really think they're just misunderstood. But, you know. Okay, here's a question. Can you explain in depth tissue culture plants versus other? I feel like we covered that. I don't know how in depth I can go aside from like tissue cultures, science babies, and others are not. So, variegated string of hearts, Deborah says. What am I doing wrong?
She just mentions the plant and says what's going wrong.
Probably not giving it enough top-down light. I'm gonna take a guess, take a shot in the dark there. Any string of plants is gonna need that top-down light to stay nice and full, so you don't get a bare pot at the top. Valerie asked me if I've tried leca or pon, and I have not actually. I've done leca. I don't know. I just grow them in water though, so like I don't really know like what the difference is. Aside from like there's just something in there to keep them anchored. So I have not tried pon. I should though for like my alocasias and stuff. What am I missing? I've always heard money trees like it more dry. Yeah, you definitely don't want to overwater them. They're like, they have a caudex, so like they hold a ton of water in their like little tree trunk. Are monstera variegated plants for beginners? If it's a deliciosa or a borzigiana, then yes, absolutely. I do think that you can handle an albo or a Thai. It can live in regular house humidity. They can handle underwatering. Like they're really, really easygoing. I don't find them to be any more difficult than a regular green monstera. So, yes, we love the Incana here as well. That's the only one that we really like.
That's it.
Peperomia
It's the
Incana.
last. Is that the last
No.
peperomia? Oh no,
We have an obtusifolia.
Right.
And I have a peperomia beetle. I feel like I have others.
All the ones with like the ridgy leaves and wrinkly, like they're just.
You know, we don't do caparata. We don't
Yeah.
do the ripply ones. TC plants are still vegetatively propagated plants, just like plants grown from cuttings. The difference is that TC plants are grown in a sterile environment with extra help. Okay. So, they're the same. They're just grown in a lab. Who's a pretty Incana? I've been experimenting with a couple of my Hoyas in pond, and they've been loving it. Yeah, that was another thing we talked about in the video.
What's pond?
It's just, they're like rocks.
Oh, it's like the leca?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's just a different like substrate. Hormones, so they can be grown from very small places, pieces of the plant. They have to be acclimated to not being in a test tube once they get big enough, but after that, yeah, you usually see them in like little jars, and it just looks like a little sprout. So, it's exactly what it sounds like. They're taking a culture of the leaf tissue, the plant tissue, and they're growing another plant from it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sir, there is that. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. I think I went through all of the ones that I had. I didn't have too many, but they were good questions. Definitely things that I get pretty often. Another question that I get all the time is, how do I get my Hoyas to bloom? And I do have a couple of videos up about that, but like, you guys, there is no secret to getting your Hoyas to bloom, unfortunately. They just kind of do it when they want to. There's like that whole concept of the death bloom, and if you like stress your plant out and don't water it for a while, that it'll bloom. But it's literally just because your plant thinks it's dying and it wants to like spread its seed. So not the best idea.
Succulent/cacti video.
Well, yeah, sure. What do you want to know, or do you just want to see them? Because
What
I
would
have
you
a
want
lot.
to see about
There's a whole
succulents
shelf
or cacti,
right here above.
as well as a bunch in a
his
box?
Yeah, I have a lot.
Yeah,
There's
we
a
have
lot.
them just kind of like around.
Yeah, they're
Some
scattered.
mixed in, a bunch up there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, most of them are in the window though, because they're west facing. So.
Yeah. A big old barrel cactus.
The only Hoya that blooms for me is my sunrise. That's a pretty easy bloomer for sure. Do you also unroll the leaves when they get stuck? I try not to, but it's hard not to help. I try not to touch them. What I do is I'll mist them, or I'll take like a wet paper towel and just kind of like go over the leaf gently and maybe pull it out a little bit. I know there's like these little tools that you can use. I saw somebody using like a little paintbrush, like a makeup brush, to get in there and just kind of like separate it from its sheath, and then let it, you know, as long as it's separated from the sheath, like I've opened it up, then I let the leaf just like do its thing. From there, I don't like literally pull it out. So you just have to be careful. That's
People
all.
want to see a little desert tour.
Yeah, I know.
Or
I know. I gotta like clean them all. They're literally covered in cat hair.
Yeah,
they
are.
like attract the cat hair because they're so pokey.
Well, and I have a cat that just.
You touch her and it's like a cloud.
It's like it's a cloud of fur.
She's got such long hair. But we should be getting our cat DNA kits back soon.
No,
so we'll find out about their more about their genetics and their health and everything, which is really excited. So
right.
I don't know if you guys caught that video back during Plant Miss, but we did our cat adoption stories. If you're interested
I have to see
in
where
that.
she's from. If we find out that she's part Portuguese, I'm gonna have to learn another language. That's why she hasn't understood me this whole time.
I think she's a rag doll. I think she
Maybe
has
that's
rag doll
Crash's
in her.
issue when he's like eating plants and you tell him to stop. He just doesn't speak English.
He's from the Bronx. He speaks
He's from the Bronx. Hey, you. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I can definitely show you my desert. I have so many, and the thing is, I just like don't know the names of them. So I'm like, here's this cactus, and then there's this cactus, and then there's that cactus over there.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of them, and surprisingly, a lot of succulents. I like succulents. I started on succulents, so. Let's see. I love your jungle. Would love to see your desert. Just read that. Hi, Miles.
Oh, can of pressurized air. I have some.
Need tongs. Cat hair is
We do
why I
have a little
don't
bit
do
of
them.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to clean
I
out
just
my computer,
honestly
so it's
shower them, like, because your cacti, a lot of people don't give them enough water. I soak them. They like it.
Okay.
And it cleans them too. So if you can just literally submerge them in water without soil getting everywhere, highly recommend it. They really like it. Maybe a can of. Oh, you read that already. I'm behind. Do succulents natural film ever come back if wiped off? Listen, people say it doesn't, but I feel like it does. Like, I
You mean like that
genuinely don't
powdery
know.
kinda-
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
name
that's
for
weird.
it. I forgot what the name is for it. It just helps like kind of protect the plant, and it doesn't always look nice either when you touch it, because then you can see your fingerprints on there. But if you gotta repot it, it's unavoidable. So.
Just put googly eyes
I
on it.
don't know if it comes back. I always thought that it did, but then I saw a video where he said that it didn't, and I like actually genuinely don't know because I've never researched that myself. But he sounded like he knew what he was talking about because he used like the proper scientific name for whatever that powdery stuff is. So
he didn't just say like schmutz.
the schmutz on the plant.
schmutz
Don't
comes
touch
back.
it.
Don't touch the
touch
schmutz.
it. Yeah, I actually talked about that in my video where I was reacting to.
I think maybe like as like a new leaf comes
his
out, it's
video.
just on there, and like that's how it just. I can't imagine there'd be some weird mechanism for it to just put its own little. Like it's not gonna go powder its nose.
I know, but
you
it has to develop it on its own. It doesn't come from like the outside environment, so why wouldn't it be able to like develop more over
I just
time?
figured like it was on the leaf as it unfurls, and then it's just on there.
Yeah, but the leaves come out.
And
The
if you take it
succulent leaves don't unfurl; they just come out and they grow.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know.
So at some point, like the plant has to produce it.
These are not things I think of typically, so I have no idea.
Truth, my cacti get watered almost once a week. Quick draining and drying soil is the key. Yeah, a lot of people like end up killing their cacti because they don't water them, and I'm one of those people.
Good.
I'm fine.
You're good.
So small cacti usually don't survive very long in my care because I forget to water them. But yeah, and that's it. I don't really have much else to say unless you guys got more questions. For anybody watching this on the replay, again, definitely leave your questions in the comment section below. If you are here for the live chat, I appreciate you. You should still leave me a comment. Even
Yeah,
if
hit
it's,
like on the video. Be nice.
Yeah,
You know that.
it
kind
helps
of
with
stuff.
the engagement, even if you leave, like when we're done here, leave me. I liked what we did last time, though, where we asked people what their favorite dessert was, and then everybody left it in the comments. So maybe we could think of another question for people to leave in the regular comments.
Okay. I'll try to think of one.
Would you ever get a pet snake?
Oh my gosh. What are you gonna do with an emoji? It's gonna be a bunch of snake
No,
emojis.
you just say yes, I would get a snake, or I have a snake, or no.
Reptiles as pets,
Snake.
yes or no?
Snakes.
There you go. Reptiles as pets.
Yeah, leave it in the regular comments.
Because
And
now
if you have any.
we found out that there's
I'm a crazy reptile lady.
that you want geckos now.
I do. I want a crested gecko.
Yeah. So like I'm not
3.
really sure about what's gonna happen next.
I want to name him Norman.
You're gonna be like, hi, we have an albino alligator now, and I'll be like, okay, that's cool. Like, what am I gonna do? With
I've
that?
always been like that though. Like I used to always want a squirrel for a pet.
It's a terrible pet.
When they're little,
They're
they're
terrible.
so cute. They look like hamsters with floofy squirrel
Like,
tails.
They're so destructive.
They're
They're
so
better
cute.
outside.
They're so cute.
It's good outside.
Hell no. I know you don't like them. Crested geckos are so cute. My mom is highly scared of them. Or aquatic frogs. I've had them before, but it's been a while. No reptiles. We're gonna have to come up with another question now because you guys are already
It's just no.
No snakes.
The answer is just no.
All right, how about this? We'll do this instead. Leave me your favorite plant right now. We'll steal that question that somebody asked me early. What is your favorite plant right now?
Not in the chat.
Not
though,
in this
comments.
chat. In the comments, because we're gonna go in like a few minutes here.
Yes, if it's in the chat.
Those are terrible pets. I've rehabbed a few. Aw.
Yeah, like they're cute, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's this to the segment of the show where we can talk about whatever we want. Here's my question for you guys. Did you watch the Murdaugh trials?
Oh, God.
Did you watch it? Tell me if you watched it. I need to know. I'm still obsessed and I'm having withdrawal and I don't know what to do. But at least his brother put out like an interview and we had that to like mull over, and some of the jury came out. Just no. I watched every second of it. I know. Did you watch Emily D. Baker too? It was crazy. It was crazy. It's still crazy. It keeps getting crazier.
It just made me miss the Johnny Depp trial.
I know, but it was pretty good.
Insane drama goes on.
Stepped on a bee.
Stepped on a bee? That was good.
It was so
bad. No, it was the
bad.
guy. What's his name? The Doofenshmirtz guy. He was like, bleh. Like on the stand. Everybody's like, what is going on with this crazy dude? Everything about that trial was just like such a circus. I loved it.
Oh my god, you guys, the documentary is so bad compared to the trial. Like I didn't watch it, but I heard that it made false claims and things that were not real evidence, and that it really just like framed him as like guilty before there was even a verdict.
Interesting.
So I didn't think that was really smart for Netflix to do, but the trial was only supposed to last 3 weeks, and it went double that. So I started watching it earlier on, and I got bored because I was like, this isn't as entertaining as Amber Heard. Right?
Of course. Nothing
will
can
ever
hold
be as entertaining as Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. But as soon as I heard that he was taking the stand, I was like, all right, I gotta watch this. And then I got so invested in it that over the weekend, I went back and watched like almost all. I was even just watching Testimony like still yesterday while I was doing plant chores because there were some that I missed. Do you think he was guilty or innocent? Tara,
the dude's guilty of something.
I don't know.
Like,
my theory the whole time was that I have a hard time. It's the same thing his brother said, actually, which was crazy. I don't know if you guys saw his brother's article and his interview in the New York Times. But I watched Emily D. Baker again this morning where she was going over it and reading what he said. And he said everything that I've been saying this whole time. I have a hard time picturing him pulling the trigger. But I think that he knows who did if he didn't do it himself.
Guilty AF.
He's definitely guilty. I don't know if he carried it out himself, to be honest with you. But he knows who did and he was involved with it. That's for sure. And I don't think we're ever going to understand why, because that man only loves himself and he's only looking out for himself, which is sad. Or we had a theory that maybe he's trying to protect Buster from something.
That was kind of what I was thinking, yeah.
So I genuinely don't know. I was actually surprised by their verdict. We were sitting here watching it live, and I was like, did that just happen? Like, we were both in shock because we really thought that they were going to be like a hung jury.
That's what I thought, yeah.
But they only took like 2 hours. We thought we were going to have to wait like all weekend for a verdict.
Right. Who knows?
I don't understand either, Tara. There's so much that doesn't make sense. What really got me, though, was the kennel video and the fact that he said on the stand that there was nobody else there. He literally said out of his own mouth that there was no one else there when they were questioning him about whether or not, like, the dogs were barking. So taking the stand definitely did not do him any good. The jury that has spoken out said that, like, he didn't help himself at all.
Right.
like at all. So he knows something, and he's not ever going to tell anybody until he's dead, probably.
Well, and then he surely won't say anything.
I'm just saying, like, maybe he'll write, you know, like how old people, like, on their deathbed, like,
Old people.
they, like, confess everything and tell you, like, all the things that you wanted to know, and then they die the next day, and you can't hold them accountable.
Yeah. I'm gonna write a note.
He's already going to jail for his whole entire life just on financial crimes.
I'm gonna write a note, leave it in a safe somewhere, and be like, this can only be opened after I'm gone. And people are gonna go open it up, and it's just gonna say YOLO. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
It's crazy. Man. I think the guy got hooked on pills. Yeah. I just thought it was weird that, like, nobody else in his life really, like, noticed. But that's a true addict, because honestly, when I had a drinking problem, people didn't believe me. They thought it was funny. They were like, "You're 20, like you're not even 21 yet, like you're not an alcoholic." I'm like, "Okay, but I drink wine for breakfast." Like my own mom didn't even know until I pulled out all the wine bottles from my bedroom. Like, a true addict, like, really is good at hiding it. So
yeah.
Nobody knew. I mean, I was fully functional too. Like, I was still going to work, going to school, like doing well with my life. Like,
and people are just denying it.
Also miserable on the inside.
Yeah.
No, people really didn't believe me.
Yeah.
They thought I was being dramatic.
No, there you go.
But now I'm like, what, 7 years sober?
Yeah.
From alcohol. To be specific. He was cocky. And that definitely did not do him any good. Didn't help him out at all with the jury.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my life, Channing, has been this trial for so long that, like, I don't know what to do with myself. So much to the point where I've been watching videos about Justin Bieber and, like, Haley and Selena. I'm like, oh, what am I, 12? They're saying I need drama. I need drama. We don't fight. Like, we're so peaceful and loving that, like, there's no drama. I need it. I need other people's drama to entertain me, you know? I'm not one of those girls that's just gonna, like, pick a fight because I'm bored. I'd rather watch other people do it. Isn't that the point of reality TV? And what better reality TV than a freaking courtroom? That felt like a movie sometimes. The way that the attorneys were talking, like, I was like, am I watching a movie? Seriously. It is. Congratulations, Danny. That's awesome. It's the first year was my favorite year, and then after that it was like everything that I'd been avoiding slapped me in the face. So that was fun, but you work through it. The first year I was sober, I was like, this is great, I'm doing so good, turned my life around. I was so happy, like I was on cloud 9, and then it was like I hit that 1 year mark, and then it was just like, what now?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, now I have to actually deal with all of those emotions and all of those things that I put off while I was drinking. They have the ice cream man killer, but not as good. I know, and then the Idaho, the college thing. Yeah, I think a lot of people watch. Really, Crash? Can they see him? No, the couch is in the way.
No.
My cat has a habit of
he likes to pet the dishwasher. He pets the dishwasher.
You didn't hear what he did last night.
No.
I heard squeaking.
Oh, okay.
And I came out here because I knew I had opened the dishwasher already.
Right.
He was doing it on the oven.
Oh, that's good. That's even better.
I really hope that's not a new thing because it was terrible. It was like...
We can't leave the oven open.
No.
Were any of you on the stream where Jackie had
literally
crashed deliver a mouse during the stream and knock over the camera?
2 years ago when I first started.
That was a classic.
He literally brought me a mouse.
On live. It was just like...
Here you go, Mom. I knocked over the camera. It was a mess.
Yeah.
It's his favorite thing. If you go, Mylene, if you go to my homepage and go to like the tab that says live, there aren't a lot of them, and you'll see the one that has the mouse emoji on it, and then I'm pretty sure I left it like in the description or like in the comments like where the timestamp is for when that happens.
Oh yeah.
Highly recommend. It was like my second live stream that I'd ever done too. So like it's nerve wracking when you're not used.
Sure.
I'm used to it now, so I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Just push the button. We're live. But like it's nerve wracking when you've never really done it before. It was only my second live stream, and like everybody's being so sweet, and I'm like, oh, there's my cat, and he freaking had a mouse in his mouth.
Yeah.
The amount of times that cat brought me a mouse, like as if he didn't know what to do. My favorite was one night in the middle of the night, I got up to go to the bathroom, and TMI, but I usually don't close the door or turn the light on. I just like stumble into the dark and go to the bathroom, wash my hands, and stumble back in bed. I don't like turning the light on because it like wakes me up.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there going to the bathroom, and the cat is in the hallway, and he's looking at me, and his eyes are like all bugged out, and I'm half asleep, and I'm like, what is he okay? It's dark, so I can't really see much. I can just see his eyes like glowing at me. I'm like, why does he look like that, right? And then I look, and in his mouth, I see a little tail sticking out. I go, oh, hell no. I am not dealing with this right now. I went in my room, closed the door, blocked the, like, the bottom, because those little suckers get under there. I was like, you figure it out there, because the last time that happened, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and the freaking mouse went in my closet, and I couldn't just like go back to sleep knowing there's a mouse in my closet.
That's fine. Right, yeah, sleep tight.
So I turned out all the lights. I had to gut the whole closet in the middle of the freaking night. It was a nightmare. So then my mom and I, anytime he would have like his episodes with the mice, we would just close our bedroom doors and block them off so that he just like had to stay. You figure it out there, because he doesn't kill them. He's not trying to eat them. He just wants to play with them. So he catches them and then he lets them go, and then he chases them and it's a game to him. But he doesn't know what to do when he catches it. He freaks out. And he looks at me like, Mom, help! I don't know what to do now that like I caught it. I'm like, well, I don't want it. Like, I feel bad for the little things. If anything, he spits it out, and I hold him down so that the mouse has time to get away.
Yeah, you have to kind of try and save the mouse for sure.
Yeah, because one time he injured the mouse unintentionally, and it went into like a corner somewhere and died, and we couldn't get to it because it was like down under the tiles, and it was bad. It was really bad, you guys. So that was my fun cat story. So I hope you liked that to wrap up the evening. Thank you for hanging out with me, you guys. I really, really appreciate it. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. We're on the third floor now in this building, so there's no mice up here, thankfully.
Yeah, we're good.
But they were just like little baby field mice. They're actually pretty cute. So it's nice catching alive. I'm glad. I hope you guys had fun hanging out with us tonight. I'm going to try and plan a more specific like day of the week. I was thinking Sundays, but sometimes I have like family stuff on Sundays. Mm-hmm. So I would have to reschedule it a lot. So I was thinking maybe like Monday nights. Let me know.
Whatever you want to do.
Let me know in the comments if that works for you guys, like in the regular comments. Also, let me know what is your favorite plant right now.
Right now?
If you have one. And I love you guys.
Do I sound like a kitty to you?
And do I look like a kitty cat to you, boy? And I hope I see you in the next one. I'll be back tomorrow with a regular video.
No, I'll be live tomorrow.
And then we're going live on his channel. So make sure you go over there and check it out if you want to hang out with us tomorrow. He's going to be babbling about his stuff instead of me babbling about my stuff.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
But I'll be here.
It won't be plans, but who knows?
No. And you never know where the conversation might go.
This is true.
I will literally sit here and talk about the Murdaugh trial for 3 hours.
You're not on my stream.
Let's do you guys not. If you guys
that
want,
is not okay.
I will literally do my own live stream where we can talk about it if you guys want to talk about it.
Off you go.
So let me know if you want to, because I will all day long. So I love you, And I will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I got this.
You can do it.
Yes, I want to stop streaming.